2nd, 2020, and notice of this meeting was posted on the bulletin board of the municipal building.
April, if everybody could join me in saluting the flag of our great nation. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Everybody could just remain standing for a moment of silence for our troops, their families, all our first responders. Thank you. I don't think we have anything on for workshop discussions. Business Administrator, we have anything? Ed, we have anything for workshop?
I have a whole list for workshop, Mr. Mayor.
Do you? Oh, yeah, well, I was going to go over that in my reports, but,
Nothing for workshop.
yeah, all right. April, anything?
No.
Any council? All right. Moving on to petitions. April, we have any?
I have no petitions.
Okay, approval of the minutes.
Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the October 5th meeting?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And thank you.
Reports of council. Councilmember Kraken.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Don't have much to report tonight. I don't have much to report tonight as my Shade Tree Commission is coming up on Wednesday. But it's interesting. I was just looking at the number of volunteers that we have in town, and I know that we come up, and do a lot of volunteer recognition in December around the holidays, but really these people need to be recognized year-round for all the work that they're doing. I'm looking at all these boards: a planning board, zoning board, harbor commission, tourism, environmental commission, library, shade tree, local assistance advisory board, ADA, housing authority, parks and recs, finance committee, just to name a few. I mean, that's only 12, and that doesn't include that's only the groups where, people from are appointed by the mayor and council. It doesn't include all the other great organizations that we have in town, like the Historical Society, Arts Council, and many others. So just of these appointed committees, we have roughly, I was doing these numbers pretty quick, 75 volunteers, and that's pretty amazing when you think about all the time that they put in and all the effort and study that they do to prepare themselves for this meeting. Several of them, as a matter of fact, are even serve on multiple boards and committees, and it just goes to show that the town is always looking for good people to volunteer and give back to their community. I mean, that's what makes Belmar so great. Out of the mix of these people, roughly, we have 23 Republicans, 35 Democrats, and 13 undeclared people. So if anybody now, I know it's only October, but the holidays come and things move along quickly. If anybody is interested in volunteering for one of the mayor and council appointed positions or anywhere else in town, please let us know, because we're always looking for good people. We're interested in making educated decisions, operating in a nonpartisan way, and putting their town, our community, Belmar first to do what's best for our community. So that was a neat list to look at. At the next meeting, I'll give you an update about what happened at the Shade Tree Commission, and that's about it.
Thank you. Councilman Brennan.
Mayor, there was a Harbor Commission meeting last week. We're still waiting on the engineers' reports so we can start to put together a capital improvement schedule as far as the electrical work on some of the docks. One new item that came up, one of the things we're going to do for slip leaseholders on JK or L dock is We're going to put them on the white list so they can use the park mobile spaces that are over by the Arts Council building. The same process we used around Silver Lake for the residents in the apartments. I'm sure they're going to appreciate that. We want to make sure that our slip holders definitely get all the benefits. The people who are further down at the B and C docks, they have spaces along the curb, so we want to make sure that the people at JK&L have spaces as well. The Environmental Commission had a meeting, big meeting. They looked at the treasure trail. We are still working on that. They approved the modified list of changes, all the stops. There were 38 stops originally. They're going to take out the ones that don't really exist anymore, add new ones, and we've sent that list around to the Historical Society and the Arts Council, and they're already getting back with feedback, but they seem to be pretty happy with what we've done so far. One of the environmental commissioners brought up the question of water filling bottles, like water bottle filling stations. Bradley just installed some there. I brought that information to the mayor and the business administrator. They're very receptive, so we're going to look into seeing if we could do something like that. And we're also going to make sure that next summer we put the water fountains back, because it's a big help to the people who run and walk on the boardwalk, especially when it's really hot out in the summer. And one other thing I wanted to share, I don't know how many people saw this. I saw this on social media. U.S. News and World Report ranked over 80,000 public elementary schools in the United States. Did you see this? Belmar Elementary School was ranked 353 for their middle school grades and 673 for their K through 5 grades. Outstanding. I mean, for those of us who have either worked there or have had children or know people that have attended the school, it's not really a surprise. But I got to tell you, I worked in several other elementary schools in Monmouth County before I started working at Belmar, and I saw the difference as soon as I got there. And I worked at some nice schools, but Belmar, far and above, was really one of the best schools I've ever seen. I'm really happy that my children were able to attend, and I feel really lucky to have worked there too. So, that's my report. Thank you.
Council President Juan?
Meetings, by the next council meeting, I will have had my ADA and Parks meetings. But I did notice something, and I thought with the holidays coming up, the Belmar Historical Society has a commemorative 150-year anniversary calendar. And this might be a great idea for Christmas for a stocking stuffer, or for some kids going off to college at Miss the Beach. You can get in touch with them at the BelmarHistoricalSociety.org, or go stop down. Actually, I have a flyer. I'm going to leave it here on the desk if anybody's interested, but it would make a nice gift. That's it, Mayor. Thank you.
Also sell them in Taylor's Hardware and at the library also, so if anybody wants to pick one up. Okay, thank you. Couple things I have. I know the business administrator has been working with the buy-a-board signs down the boardwalk, so we're going to start getting all those replaced and updated. And I want to commend him, Jerry Dasty, and our engineers for securing the $711,000 for that, the outfall pipe. It was money that we thought that we would never get, and we just got approval to get that. So I want to thank all of them for all the hard work they did. It took about 2.5 years. We started I know if anybody went down 12th Avenue, we finally started the painting of the ground water storage tank. It should be completed by the third week in November. So I'm glad to see that being worked on. 12th Avenue started today, getting all the concrete curbing finished up so that we could pave from B Street down to Ocean Avenue. And the milling and the paving for 15th Avenue is supposed to start Friday, so we'll be glad to get those streets done. Other than that, I just want to mention two people. One was Cecil Lear. longtime resident, was inducted into the Surfing Walk Hall of Fame out in California. He's 90 years old now, so he flew out to California to be inducted into there, so we want to congratulate him. And Maria Randonero was honored at the Young Democrats for all her work she did in trying to get everybody vaccinated, so I want to congratulate her also. And, the trunk or treat, Halloween. It's going to be our first year for that. It's October 29th at 7 p.m. I know the kids from Danny White's music will be playing, and so it's going to be the first year doing that down at Belmar Plaza, so that should be great for the kids in town. So, April, is there a sign up for that, if anybody wants to do it?
Sign up for the trunk or treat. Their forms are in the front lobby in the front office.
Okay, thank you. And tree lighting is will be December 4th. It's a Saturday night because we have the Mayor's Ball on December 3rd, which is a Friday night. So we're having the holiday party. We're going to be raising money for the new clock that's going at 10th and Main. Tree lighting will be on Saturday, December 4th. And I think that's all I have. So we'll move on to public session for any of the resolution items. All right, April, seeing none?
Can I have a motion to close the public session?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion to approve the resolutions as listed on the consent agenda?
Motion.
Councilman Brennan?
Yes.
Councilman Juan? Mayor Walsifer?
Yes.
Councilman McCracken?
Yes.
And then, can I have a motion to approve Resolution 2021-219? This is to renew the liquor license for Flames.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, Councilman Brennan, abstain. Councilman Juan? Mayor Walsifer?
Yes.
Councilman McCracken?
Yes.
All right. Next, we have ordinances, second reading and public hearing on ordinance 2021-32. This is an ordinance amending Chapter 20. It's open for public comment. Okay, can I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
And can I have a motion to adopt ordinance 2021-32?
A motion. Second.
Okay, Councilman Brennan?
Aye.
Councilwoman Mon? Mayor Walsifer?
Yes.
Councilman McCracken?
Yes.
Next is first reading and introduction of ordinance 2021-33. This is a bond ordinance providing for the acquisition of vehicles. Do we have a motion to offer for first reading?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Okay, Councilman Brennan?
Yes.
Councilman Juan? Mayor Walsifer?
Yes.
Councilman McCracken?
Yes.
Next is first reading and introduction on ordinance 2021-34. This is a bond ordinance providing for the acquisition of vehicles through the water sewer utility. Do I have a motion to offer for first reading?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, Councilman Brennan?
Yes.
Councilwoman Juan? Mayor Walsifer?
Yes.
Councilman McCracken?
Yes.
That's it.
Okay, on the public session. Anybody from the public have any comments? Questions? Yes.
Anita Pecorelli, River Ridge Apartments, Belmar. I was reading the minutes from like 2 times ago, and apparently the FSOS did a fundraiser for the recreation. What is the FSOS?
Friendly Sons of the Shillelagh.
So what is that?
It's the club on 16th Avenue.
Did we give that a liquor license or something?
They have a club liquor license, yes.
They do? Okay, so then my question is, why are they raising money for the Recreation Commission where, like, with our taxes being up and the water bill being up and we're paying for parking? Like, where's the recreation budget? Where is that in our big budget scheme? Why are we raising funds for that?
And so they can buy extra equipment and do different things to upgrade our recreation department.
So will programs be coming back? Are we looking into yoga or any of those things that were
Yes.
cut?
Mm-hmm.
They'll be
Yes.
coming back?
There's a
Yeah.
holistic recreation program.
Well, with the yoga and everything and all those library programs, you said the recreation was going to take them over, and the chair yoga, and the bridge, and the mahjong, and the Zumba, and all that stuff. You said,
Well, Mahjong and all that is back now at the Taylor Pavilion. We have that game day on Mondays. I'd have to talk to Barry Trudeau to see where we're at with one of the other programs, because he's bringing them all back. He's in charge of our recreation, so I'd have to check with him.
okay, thank you so much.
Anyone else? Yes, Mr. Kramer.
Yeah, excuse me, Eugene Kimmer, Fourth Avenue. I see we went through the consent agenda, and there was another resolution here separately listed, but there was no call for any public comment on that particular resolution.
Well, the public session was for all the resolutions. We just had to move that one out because Mr. Brennan cannot vote on the liquor licenses. So when we called for public session, it was for all of them.
Excuse me, there's a consent agenda, and then there's resolutions. But the public was, there was a call for public comments on the consent agenda, but this particular resolution here, which is listed separately, there was no call for any public comments on it. The public was not provided an opportunity to comment or ask questions for that matter.
Did you have a question on that one?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Okay.
First, is this the outfit trading as Flames?
Yes, I believe so, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Does any of the licensed premises, or are any of the licensed premises within the public right-of-way, Belmar's public right-of-way?
I believe any of them that have outdoor dining. I know Jack's was before they closed, 10th Avenue Burrito. I think DJ's is out on the sidewalk. We allow the Dolce Vita have sidewalk space. Yeah, but they're not on, they don't have a liquor license. I'm trying to think of all the places with liquor licenses. So, yeah, there's a few of them. Anywhere that has outdoor dining.
Yeah, I understand that, but I believe in most of those situations, the property owner actually owns the property. This is out in this is within Main Street, okay? We all paid as taxpayers here for the beautification of Main Street and all those nice red pavers, but now we can't walk on them. And quite truthfully, I consider myself an expert with the wheelchair, and I wouldn't even attempt to go around that corner by Flames. That area is so congested there, and I understand that, this came up initially with getting approval, but that property owner has actually built out. He has structure out within the public right-of-way. In fact, I guess it looks to me that there's even roll-down metal doors so that he can close it completely off. Although we didn't get much snow last year, I did pass there. We had a couple light snowfalls or something. This area was, where's he going to put the snow? There's no place to put it unless he's going to shovel it into the street. This is way too congested. And quite truthfully, I know people that are handicapped. In fact, Connie lived right next door. Her wheelchair would never get past the barriers. It's like a handicapped person's obstacle course at best. I think this is inappropriate and building way out into the public right-of-way, where now the public is being deprived of passage. I realize that the mayor and council have been involved in this from the onset, but it was a mistake, okay? And I'm not here to, to accuse somebody of making a mistake. The best thing to do is to fix it. I'm just wondering what we can expect next. The gentleman has bottled gas out there and some sort of flame stuff. Are we going to have exotic dancers? And where does it end? I could go there, I guess, on St. Patrick's Day. And let me tell you one of the problems. I could probably get through there, and I have a narrow wheelchair. I probably can snake my way through there. But there's nobody going to be able to pass me going in the opposite direction, okay? And I would not be able to even stop there to take a breather. The area is much too congested. You have Monmouth County with the traffic control box. You have a number of utility poles. The people there tie their bicycles up. It's much too congested. And this is at the center of town, perhaps one of the busiest corners that we have in town here. I'm sorry, I just can't go along with giving a liquor license and having them, the ability to serve out in the public way there. And I don't believe.
I'm not sure if they had, I'll have to check with our construction officials and code enforcement to see if it complies with what the ordinance says. Maybe we have to take a look at the ordinance and readjust it to make sure that it doesn't happen again. But I'd have to check with them, but if they're within compliance of the ordinance, then they have the right to do it.
Yeah,
because there is a lot of.
If you recall, Mayor, the construction official balked at this, okay? He did not make a decision. He bubbled it up to the mayor and council. The mayor and council own this now, okay? Whether this thing stays or goes. It's not up to our code officials to make that decision.
Well, they have to follow what the ordinance says, so we'll have to take a look at that to see if, I believe they have to have 4 foot of space, and that ordinance was in effect way before we got here. So I know Jack's Tavern was a problem too when you look at that sidewalk, because it was a light pole that was within the 4 feet. And there's a couple spots that are in that situation. I mean, that one, you're right, that's a busy corner, it really stands out. But I think 10th Avenue Burrito has only 4 foot of sidewalk where they are, so I mean, maybe it's something that we really have to do is look at the ordinance and change that.
Yeah, 10th Avenue Burrito likewise extended out on paver bricks that the borough paid for. Also, you have a mid-block pedestrian crossing there. That narrow walkway on the south side of 8th Avenue there, that doesn't help that pedestrian crossing one bit. And quite truthfully, I don't know whether that's ever been resolved. The last time that we had heard, actually, that took any approval there of that mid-block pedestrian crossing has to get up to the commissioner of the Department of Transportation for his signature before anything can be done about that. I've been around here for a while. The borough did rebuild and change the layout of the Belmar parking wall because we own it. But that never received approval of NJDOT, and it's a mall that requires access onto a state highway. The borough never got a permit to do that. And they did move the location of the access on 8th Avenue. I know for a fact, and you probably remember, the access was a lot closer to Friedman's at the time. Friedman's used to bring big trucks in there right behind their store. I don't know, Mayor, I guess I would appreciate taking a look at this, especially the one that's in front of you here tonight. And I'm not sure what the best step forward here is. I believe the town owns the sidewalk, owns the right-of-way there, and if somebody built out into it, they did so at their own risk and peril. This is, you know, I guess you know, at what point do we start losing control of our right-of-ways? Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Yes, Maria?
I'm short, this is fine. I don't even need a mic. Maria Florio, 115 12th Avenue. This is a easy question. I think maybe if I could talk to Mr. McCracken, maybe he could answer the Shade Commission. On 12th Avenue, on the 200 block, on the north side, there is a tree that has either a hornet's nest or a beehive, this big, hanging right over that if your car is parked and it falls, whoopee. So, I don't know, who does that belong to? We called the police just to, not to make a complaint, but just to see what the answer was, and they said, well, it depends on the owner. That's the owner's property. Now, this is the curb and the sidewalk, not on private.
John, can you take a look at that tomorrow? Yes. Thanks.
Okay?
John will come down and take a look at it.
Some kid comes along with a stick and whoopee. Thank you. That was it.
You'll have to run quick.
I need a little more height. Good evening. Here comes the guy with the van sneakers. You probably understand what I'm here for.
All right, name and address, please.
Curran Fallon, 719 19th Avenue, Lake Como.
Okay.
Sorry, what was your name?
Curran Fallon. I'm just here to get some clarification on the skate park. I know this has been a reoccurring theme of these meetings. I think we all can agree that we all deserve something better in the town, and just wondering whose responsibility this park is.
It's the town's responsibility,
And it's currently closed because,
because the insurance company said they're not insuring it anymore.
okay, so it's
Until we upgrade it and bring it up to the standards that it needs to be.
okay. So it's a matter of safety, insurance,
Correct.
which I completely agree and understand. Is there a way that this could be placed on the agenda for next month's meeting so that we could collectively come together as a community and discuss this issue? Mr. McCracken made a good point earlier about volunteering and getting involved and, you know, having participation from the community, and I think that there's parents in the community that would like to do so, as you had mentioned. Is there a
I'm
way
not
that we
sure how
could-
in touch you are, but our business administrator has been having meetings in his office with a lot of the people that are involved in that skate park. And
Yes,
trying to
and
work
I
out.
have been in touch, you know, and Bob, I know,
So-
is a big part of it from Belmar Skate Shop.
So if you need to discuss anything, you can contact him. and
What was the
he'll-
name again?
Ed Kirschenbaum, it's our business administrator
Okay.
right there.
Okay, so I
So
should
if you
reach out
leave
to
him
him
his
to
name,
discuss
your
this.
name and number, and he will get in contact with you.
Okay, excellent. Can I do that now?
Yeah, give me your phone number.
732-421-7305.
And give me your full name again.
My first name is Curran, Curran. Last name Fallon, Fallon.
All right, I'll give you a call in the next couple of days.
Thank you very much. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Curran, do you mind if I just ask a quick question?
Yeah, please.
Because you live in Lake Como, and I
Yes.
think 2 meetings ago, we had someone come who lives in Wall, who was asking about the skate park. So there's a lot of interest about this skate park, not just in Belmar, but obviously in Lake Como or Wall.
Sure.
Have your groups gone to those council meetings and asked those governing bodies if they'd be willing to chip in to bring the skate park up to standards as well?
So this is my personal understanding, is that other towns are investigating either developing a park or they have an existing park that has been upgraded to, you know, quite substantial standards. I'm sure you're familiar with Bricktown and Long Branch and Jackson and Then you have towns like Manasquan that are very comparable to our town skate park. It's a matter of safety and insurance and funding to keep the parks going. I understand all those things. In terms of other towns pitching in to help Belmar's park, I think you do have residents in other towns that are willing to form committees or, nonprofit organizations to help fund, the support of maintaining a park or building structures that are a bit more substantial. I don't think currently there is a nonprofit group in Belmar, but I think there is something that is, currently being, developed to help support, the funding in town here. I just wanted some more clarification on, what exactly the reason is for the park being closed. I realize that it is a safety issue. For example, if there's a slide in town in a park that is, not up to standards and it's currently dangerous for children to use that park would get shut down and that slide would be fixed and opened back up to the community. It seems as if the skate park was shut down for safety concerns in May, I believe, and there hasn't been much resolution to open that park up. So I was just helping, understanding why that was.
There's been a lot of discussions, and it basically comes down to the amount of funding it takes to build the right type of skate park that the insurance companies would get behind. That skate park was probably built 15 to 20 years ago.
Sure, I remember.
Before all these regulations come into play. So now that it was in disrepair and the insurance company came down and said, listen, it's got to be brought up to standards, you have to close it. So, and there's been a lot of different discussions of how we're going to fund it, and we had nothing budgeted for this year for it, so we're looking into it. It's definitely been on our radar. We've had a lot of discussions about it.
Sure, I'm familiar.
And trying to figure out what's the best course of action to get it to where it needs to be.
Absolutely.
Believe me,
I think there's a
I
lot of
want it
people
open.
behind it. Absolutely. Yeah, I think we all do. I think, this town deserves better. It's a beautiful town. I think everybody in this room can collectively, stand behind this town being a great place to live and supporting all the recreation, programs in the town. And I think skateboarding is something that's growing. I know you're all aware it's been a part of the Olympics. So it's going to continue to grow, and why not try and support something to make it better or, improve the current situation. So I look forward to your call.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I
Thank
have
you.
a question. I actually
Yeah.
have a question for the attorney.
Yeah, go ahead.
If someone was to start a 50C3, specifically to fundraise for this skate park renovation, would they have to be a resident of Belmar? Or, okay.
Because that was a great point that I was going to bring to Mr. Kirschenbaum's attention.
We already have interest. I've met with several people already in starting a 501(c), so that's already in the works.
Excellent.
I've met on this numerous times with a bunch of different people, so it's all in the works. I've got some grant sites that I have to look into as far as grants that are
Absolutely.
available
I'm familiar
for
with
small
those as
towns
well.
and large towns. So
Mhm.
we're working on it. The price
Okay.
tag is $300,000 to $350,000. We want a safe environment for our skaters, and that's
Absolutely.
what we're trying to work out.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Anyone else? All right. April, seeing none?
Can I have a motion to close the public session and adjourn?
Second. Oh, Sharon? Oh, sorry about that, Sharon. I didn't see you back there.
I'm used to that line.
Usually you yell, though.
Hi, Sharon Russell Fowler from the Belmar Library. I just wanted to let everyone know that tomorrow night there's an elder caregiver series that will be going on at 6 o'clock at the library. It will also be Zoomed. So we do know that we have quite a few people in town that are caring for elders. So this might be a really informative one to partake in. It should be also saved so that if you're not able to attend at 6, I think Lewis puts it online so that you can watch it later. Okay?
Okay, thank
Thanks,
you.
Sharon.
All right, now we can go, April.
Right. Motion to close the public session and adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
All right. Thank you, everyone.